Evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode 18. Hope everyone is doing well. Apologies for the little delay, just been sorting out a few issues. But yeah, we are back for another live episode. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Do hit the like button. As always, can we get 50 likes? That would be quality. And yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about. Of course, we got the news that Belly, just over an hour ago or so, Belly's left on a permanent gone back to Harrogate, of course, where we got him from. We're going to be talking about Woods going back, the second loan player to leave in January. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about going over the Norwich game. Of course, the opportunity to play Liverpool in the next round, which is hopefully going to happen. But yeah, got a massive game, of course, next Wednesday against Norwich. And then we're also going to be joined in about 20-25 minutes from Josh Atherton. He's from Red All Over. Make sure you go and subscribe to their channel. Really good Barnsley channel, really good content. So yeah, he'll be on in a bit as well as we discuss and go into the Barnsley game. But yeah, evening to Reese, obviously a Barnsley fan, evening to you, evening to Kieran West, evening to Chris, evening to Mitch, and even into Ben as well. Yeah, my hair's a bit of a mess, so that's why I've got this Fan Hub hat on. Yeah, by the way, as always, the code and our socials for the Twitter and Instagram of the Talking Gas Pod are down below. So if you want to join Fan Hub, the code is down below, scrolling down the bottom, and also our socials as well. But yeah, we're joined by Neil as always. How are you doing on this Thursday evening?
What's happening, mate? You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. No sweat.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, but yeah, thanks to everyone that's tuning in. Of course, if you're watching back on the replay, then don't forget to leave your comments as well. And obviously get your questions in. Hit the likes, like I said. Subscribe if you're new on the road to 7,000. Keep up the quality support as always. But yeah, I think we'll get on to the news. Obviously, Belshaw has left. Obviously, he's hardly played for us all season. I think he's played maybe one game, if that. He's had different loan spells. He was at Forest Green for about a month on loan, and then of course Harrogate. But now it's come out that he's left after making 91 appearances for the club. Of course, the club that we signed him from, who he fell out with the manager and the people there. He's now gone back there on a permanent deal. Yeah, what do you make of his time, and yeah, your thoughts of him leaving and going back to Harrogate on a permanent deal?
This one could have gone right under the radar, to be honest. I don't think if it wouldn't have come out and it wouldn't have been a big deal, I don't think anyone would have blinked an eyelid at it. You know what I mean? He's been gone for ages. Let's be honest. Like, he's been gone and he's been never coming back for ages. Yeah. There's a lot of sentiment behind it. Like, he promotion winning goalkeeper, so obviously a lot of sentiment behind it. And he knew how to get fans on side. He played his part. He had his little love affair with the Thatcher's End and all the rest of it, but. I wish him well, but ultimately we all move on, don't we? As a football club and as supporters and as a player, we all move on. And like I said, I know he's got his little hero group that people adore him and all the rest of it, and that's fine. But ultimately, if he was as good as what people make out, he'd have got a League One club, and he hasn't. So I wish him well. Yeah. I hope he does great, and he's gone back to Harrogate, and I'm sure he'll do great. But like I said, we all move on.
Yeah. I mean, I done a post, obviously. Yeah, like you said, he come in, done very well in that, League Two season. And it's quite funny actually in a way that the club that got rid of him and didn't want him, he's now gone back to, which is quite strange. But that's football, I guess. Things change. But yeah, like you said, some people, are really, really gutted about, that he's left. But he's not really been, like you said, he's pretty much not been here anyway. He's been obviously on loan, but it's not felt like that he's been here because he's obviously had the loan spell at Forest Green, then at Harrogate, and obviously now it's made permanent. But yeah, he was great with the fans. Obviously for me, he come on the channel, done the interview where the connection was an absolute shambles. I'm sure no context Rovers have put the video up again when it kicked me out and he was in here. But yeah, and obviously he done good things off the pitch as well with the community. with the community trust and things like that. And, he's, 91 appearances, he has done well. But like you said, it's sort of, obviously everyone will have their faults, of course. But yeah, I wish him all the best. His mum and dad were sound as well. They watched the interview, and I used to see them at the games, and they were great to me as well. So yeah, all the best to him. Like I said, everyone will have different views on it. Like you said, if he was that amazing, he'd get a League One team, but I suppose it all works out because obviously he played there before anyway, and obviously his family are from up that way. So yeah, all the best to him. But yeah, even to Jason MH as well, even lads, I hope we don't try and do all of our transfer business in the last 10 minutes again. Yeah, hopefully not. Even into Kelly as well, even in Charlie Wells, 70-year-old Garcer living in Bolton and been watching Liverpool versus Rovers brings back memories at the draw at Twitter Park and the replay. Yeah. Hopefully it can happen again. Obviously, I'm too young to remember that. But yeah, hopefully that happens. Kieran West saying, do you think Taylor needs to get a midfield in now? Yeah, I think even without Ward's injury, we'll go into a little bit in a minute, but yeah, even with Ward's injury, which isn't good, I think we'll still be getting at least one, if not two midfielders, because McCormick's just coming back from an injury. Finley's always got that bit of him where he can go too mad and get injured or suspended. So, and Ben saying, did you lads both manage to get a ticket? Yeah, for me, God, it was obviously people probably seen the tweet I put up. And yeah, I did manage to get one in the end. Obviously, they put the post up the day after the mess they had, because it's not actually Rovers, it was the ticket master that obviously they're with, that deals with all away tickets, etc. So yeah, in the end, I managed to get one. Although I'm not in the Blackthorn end, I'm in the West Stand. I'll be on my ones in the West Stand. Yeah, everyone that I usually go with are in the. Yeah, that's annoying. But yeah, Neil. Yeah, obviously I know about it. But yeah, what did you make of that whole debacle? And obviously you're not going to be going. You're going to watch it at home. But yeah, what did you make of that whole debacle with the tickets?
It's nothing out of the ordinary, is it? It's just Rovers as fuck, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. It's just how it goes. Like, if you'd expect it to go smoothly, you'd have been an idiot. It's just typical. So I know people get upset about it and all the rest of it, but I mean, the way I look at it though is, especially when people are getting on people's backs for buying like 11, 12, 13 tickets at a time. If the opportunity's there, you do it, don't you? I don't blame them one bit. If it's there to be done, you jump on it, don't you? Like, it's not their fault, is it? The club's had a cock up. Anyone can buy as many tickets as they want, and people have taken their opportunity. Good luck to them. That's what I think. At the end of the day, the Rovers won't be too arsed. They've sold it out at the end of, but they've probably lost a fortune on the way they've gone about it, because the way they've done the ticket pricing and not realising the magnitude of the game. Now we've drawn Liverpool. They've cocked up there, to be honest, but. Like I said, Rovers is fucking it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wasn't surprised, but yeah, I got mine. I know a lot of people. I still know a lot of people that don't have a ticket, and I think the reason why so many people are annoyed as well is that a lot of people that are going. Like, even I done the post the other day, and there were some people, they was probably just trying to wind me up, but they was like, "Oh yeah, me and like 7 of my mates are going, and we've not been since COVID." And I was like, I don't know if they were joking or whatever, but that's what
They're
I mean.
Probably on a G-up, mate. They're probably on a G-up, but like at the end of the day, if that circumstance happens, good luck to them. Do you know what I mean? The opportunity's there, you take it, don't you?
Yeah, and probably one of them. Yeah, probably one of them was Ben. Yeah, Ben loves it. But yeah, I'm lucky I've got a ticket, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good one. But also, obviously, the other one that I don't know whether we sent him back or Hull recorded him. Probably we sent him back, but it didn't come out on the way. But Ryan Woods, what did you make of that? I think most of us expected it. Obviously, he was one of 5 loans and one of 13 signings made by Barton in the summer. I think a lot of us expected a lot more of him, especially, me personally. I already said it. I definitely expected a lot more. Obviously, from his time when I've seen him come through the Shrewsbury Academy and make step up and then played in the Championship majority of career after that, I was definitely expecting a lot more, and I'm sure everyone was. But he made, I think, 10 starts, 16 appearances, but he only started one league game under Taylor, and that was the last league game we played, which was Wickham. He made, I think, 2 other starts, one in the FA Cup against Crewe, which he played well, and one in the EFL Trophy game, which was Taylor's first game. Yeah, what did you make of that, and how do you sum up his time as a Rovers player?
I understand it from start to finish. I completely understand why he was recruited by Barton. He fitted the brief for what Barton wanted and the way this side wanted to play. High possession side with a midfielder that can get it, give it, tick it over, maintain possession. Very rarely give the ball away when we're on top, and you've got someone who can tick the ball over in midfield. That was fine for Barton. He doesn't fit the mold of what Taylor's looking to do, where we sacrifice a little bit of possession, be a little bit more direct and really rigid and organised off the ball. He can't cover enough ground quick enough, Woods. Like his running patterns, like it doesn't suit. And I'm not saying he's a good footballer, just not for the way, the dynamic of this side. It's just not for the dynamic of this side. And Woods won't go away thinking, oh, like they're not having me, I'm garbage. He'll go away just going, I just don't like, I'm just not part of that jigsaw. He will be for someone else. He'll be a good player for a certain side that have a certain pattern of play in a certain way. Just didn't fit the bill when Taylor came in and wanted to tweak things to do to play a certain pattern, and especially off the ball. Like we sacrifice too much of the ball now to be organised, and he just becomes the passenger in that sort of format. Woods, but he'll go and be a good player for someone in a certain side. A manager wants him to do a certain thing, and like you said, high volume of possession, someone who can get it, give it, shoot it out to a full back, into a centre half, back out again, and just keep the game ticking. It's not what we do anymore. So you don't fit the bill for us, but that don't mean you're a good footballer.
Yeah. I completely agree. That's what I said pretty much. I said, basically he'll suit another. Even under Barton, where obviously it was mainly possession based. Even obviously his first game, he looked really good when he was doing all them outside of the foot passes, and Port Vale at home, Oxford away. Obviously, like I said, Crewe away, but there is League Two, but he did play well. But yeah, he just, like you said, he didn't have the sort of power. And obviously Finley, McCormick, Evans, and Ward aren't exactly like massive players, but you get what I mean, as in the running power, the way they can get forward. Like Woods, like you said, just doesn't fit into that. And like, I was on the whole radio yesterday talking about it, and I basically said the same thing. Like the way he runs, like you said, he does the basics well, but if you're trying to get out the pitch, and in Taylor's system now, where we have less of the ball, but when we do get the ball, we want to run up the pitch, get players forward. He just doesn't suit that. But like you said, he is a good footballer. You can see from his career, but yeah. Ben's saying Ryan didn't look like he wanted to be a majority of the time, not running back after losing the ball annoyed me too much. Tom Butler saying I expected more of him, especially after a good start, but he isn't a crap player like some clowns have made out. And Kjorgalaw saying even the lads feeling confident for the Norwich game, they must have been dreading coming back to the Mem after the Carrow Road performance. Not seen much to write home about with Woods. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but then now that is 2 loan spots again freed up, obviously, plus Bailey leaving on a fee. Obviously, I'm not sure of the fee. It wouldn't have been too much because he's out of contract in the summer, but there would have been some fee. So that's 3 players now. 1 obviously on a permanent, 2 loan players gone. So now room for 2 spaces. It is going to be interesting. I think we'll definitely be signing. I think the first signing will be a centre mid. Whether for me, we already said last week, I like the Greg Doherty one from Hull. Obviously another Hull player, but he's he's in at this level with Hull when they were last in League One, and when he was with Shrewsbury on loan, 3 or 4 years ago. He done really well, and I think he suits the way. Whether he comes or not, because I think one of the journalists, Darren Whitcoop, said we were one of the clubs linked with him. Yeah, what I've heard today is that it's going to be a Championship player coming on loan in the early next week. So whether it's going to be Doherty or whether it's going to be someone else, maybe a little bit older, I'm not sure. And yeah, the other one is obviously Martin as well. Some people in the comments saying it as well, and that's been obviously going around. Apparently, we've offered him a 1-year deal, and by the looks of it, he wants an 18-month deal. What do you make of the whole situation? There was rumours that City want him back and QPR want him back. I don't know how true that is, but what do you make of that whole situation? Because it is, he has obviously done well scoring wise, 8 and 16. But what do you make of the whole situation of Martin not, will or won't he sign the new deal?
I think first of all, you've got to say credit to Chris Martin, because he's managed to get himself from a bloke that's been sat on the sofa doing nothing, get himself now into a position where he's like he holds all the cards now, because he's banging form, he's scoring goals. He said himself he's not even match fit yet, and really look where we'd be if we didn't have him. So he holds all the cards now, and credit to him. He's in a position now where he can go and demand, because he's of an age, and he's going to work. He's want to go and get a contract for as long as he can, to secure that and nail himself down for at least, like you said, 18 months. Whether that be League One, whether that be League Two, whether that be Championship, he's going to look for security, Chris Martin, money and security. Like, good luck to him. It all needs to fall into the pattern of what Rovers want to do over the course of that year. It might not fit the bill, and if we lose Chris Martin to someone else because he's been given more security over a longer period, and good luck to him. He should take it. Like, footballers should be selfish. A short career, go and earn your money. But Rovers don't want to get drawn into the fact of like sweating and going, oh shit, he's the only one scoring us goals, we've got to keep him, we've got to give him a year's deal, and it all break up the pattern of what you're looking to do in other windows. We're in a position now where I think personally that we ain't going to be a top 6 side anyway, so just let him go by the wayside and just patch a hole for the time being, I think, if it does get to that stage. But Rovers need to be cute with the business they do and go, well, just because he wants an 18-month deal, it doesn't mean we should give him it. You know what I mean? Because he's scoring goals at the minute. Because if we do lose him, then we need to be cute and realise that 18 months doesn't fit within our plan of that deal. So, but Chris Martin holds all the cards, and good luck to him.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He's 35 years old. He turned 35 in November. And like you said, it's a difficult one, because, like you said, if you're a player, you wanna, of course, you want a longer contract, But yeah, hopefully he does sign it. If not, it will be, especially in this window, who we get in, I don't have a clue. But hopefully, Ben saying his contract's up after the Norwich game, so hopefully, close to that, he can make a decision and see what happens, really. Even to Chiz as well. Yeah, thanks to everyone. Nearly 50 of you watching live. Keep getting your comments in, keep hitting the like button. Josh is in the background. We're going to be over to him in a sec. We'll quickly go over the Norwich game. I don't think there's too much to say, but Kelly's saying, Charlie, you and Neil have been invaluable to me since I moved north. Would love your honest assessment on Rovers' chances of Norwich. Yeah, I appreciate the support, everyone that's watching. I know there's people, by looking at the YouTube, there's people in Argentina, there's people in South America that watch this, so, and even people that have moved up north, or whether they're in a different part. Just appreciate everyone's support. Has been class. But yeah, we'll quickly get on to the Norwich game. Obviously, I didn't go. I couldn't get a lift up there in the end, but obviously I did watch it. A lot of people couldn't watch it, but I managed to find a stream. Obviously, you went up there. What was your thoughts on the game? Obviously, 2 changes. Collins and Woods came out of the team. Obviously, Wardy come back in, and Giovanni made his first start in quite a while. Yeah. What did you make of it? The way we played, the goals the goal we conceded, and obviously our goal as well, and just the whole general performance.
Yeah, I think over the course of the 90 minutes, We never looked a level below them. Far from it. Like we looked well on par with Norwich, if not the better side throughout the game. I think on the balance of play, I think we probably edged them, to be honest, as being the better side. We were certainly far more dynamic with the ball. We certainly had far more variety to our game than Norwich did. They look like a side that are sort of pissing in the wind, to be honest. They don't look like they got much direction. They don't look like they got much nous or know-how of what Wagner wants them to do. They seem really one-dimensional in the way they played, and they've got sort of square pegs and round holes a little bit. But we didn't start fantastically well. We sort of felt them out a little bit, and then we got ourselves down to the position of me giving Kramer loads of credit against, I think, Charlton. I think he played really well against Charlton, and I thought we could kick on from that performance. And then Kramer just does a Kramer thing, and there's no way you can dress it up all you want, but there's no way you should be losing that battle. He's 70-30 to win that and deal with it, and he just did not make a decision, and it's cost us. And then we end up 1-0 down from. It's not even anything they've created. They've just turned us round, put it in the corner, and Kramer's not dealt with it. And then after that, we sort of freeze for sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes. We don't really compose ourselves, and I think Sainz has a chance, which just whistles past the post, and that could have been 2-0. And then after that,
then it probably is game over, isn't it?
Yeah,
if it's 2-0.
We sort of compose ourselves. Then we get the ball, we move it, and we keep it, and we start turning Norwich round. And they're not liking getting dragged all over the place, to be honest, and they're getting pulled out of places. They're all over the place as far as the structure off the ball. And we got ourselves back in the game through pretty quickly for a well-worked goal, to be honest. I ain't going to dress it up as first half, second half or anything, but Finley was magnificent in there, to be honest.
Yeah, Finley was unreal.
Again, like, no central midfielder is ever going to be perfect. He will give the ball away because he tries stuff, and he's brave on the ball. He's brave as hell on the ball, Finley. He's really, really brave. And in times, he's going to make a decision that doesn't come off. But the only reason it don't come off is not because he's sloppy. It's because he's trying to be brave with it. He's trying to make stuff happen. And all credit to him. Ward again in there, fantastic. He's come on. There's another side of him since Taylor's come on. He's really combative. He's really good off the ball. He's really tenacious. And I didn't see that side of him under Barton. It really concerned me under Barton when he used to play in that double screen, because I didn't think he had it in him. But now, the way we are with sacrificing the ball and having a little bit less of it, he's added that little bit of extra to his game, and he was really good in there. We just have far more variety to him. All Norwich wanted to do was shoot it into the middle of the pitch and get us turned round quickly, spinning it in behind us. And the man they had in that hole was Barnes, and he don't play in the hole. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. Someone who plays in the hole, like, he's never played in the hole. He's never made his money and earned his crust from playing in the hole. I don't know why they made him do it. And I thought we coped with Norwich pretty well. Like, after sort of an hour of watching it, I was really not concerned by Norwich at all, by what they were creating. They weren't opening us up. Connor Taylor looked like a championship centre half in that game. You know, he coped with everything, dealt with everything, really good. And we were good value for, nick it. Could have nicked that game, could have won that game.
Yeah, we should have really. I think we had the better chances.
Definitely good value for getting a draw, and earning a replay. And if we wouldn't have drawn Liverpool, if we wouldn't have drawn a big hitter, there would be no enthusiasm for Norwich to come to this game, whether that be fans, players, managers, staff. And I reckon they'd toss it up. They will not want to come to the Mem. It's all on a cold Wednesday night, getting them changing rooms after all that travel, come out to that, their fans tucked away in the corner. They probably won't fill the allocation because they're not asked by it. The only incentive is Liverpool. That's their only incentive. And but we've got every chance of winning that game. Every chance. I just don't think Norwich will fancy that one bit, especially if we get after them, get amongst it, the men get on top of them, and we have players that go out there and start getting in their faces, making it awkward, get narrow, and start playing again after, winning the battle and earning the right to play. I think we could swarm all over Norwich, to be honest, and I think they'll fold if we go about it that way. Yeah. But like I said, Norwich only incentive is a day at Anfield.
Yeah, but even them, like all the fans have been saying, because they've been battered so many times, they're like, oh, please, Rovers win. I've seen literally loads of them, but obviously it's not like that. The players are going to be different. Their manager, if they get battered tomorrow even at Hull, we could be gone before then, and it could be a completely different test. Because Jason MH, they did make loads of changes, but still, I think they made 9 changes. But even you look at their team, half of that team are internationals. You had a Greek international left back that scored and started against France the last international break. You had Sargent up front. You had Adam Forshaw, who's been a championship. He's played the Premier League. A lot of that team were, experienced players that have played championship or Premier League with Norwich or other clubs. And for us to, I think we started really well, but then, like you said, it was such a poor goal again. Like you said, Kramer can't get beat from there. Like you said, you were bigging him up. Again, apart from that, I thought he'd done well, but like you said, it's just one mistake, and it's costing us every
He's got
single
that in
game.
him, though. I saw it early doors. He's got that in him. I'm not saying he won't go on to be a good centre. I know he's only a baby, isn't he? Like at the end of the day, and he's come through academy, and academy football is a bit like that. Like it's a tough learning curve, but sides will start to play on him if they know they've got a clanger in him. We've said it about other players. I know it's different. Like you talk about people like Raggett at Pompey. Sides will trigger that press. They'll go and play on him because they know they've got one in him.
Yeah, completely agree. But for the majority, he is really good. But he's all, like you said, he's always got that one mistake in him. But then after that, I thought we were quality finish. Finley done exceptional. Like I agree. I thought he's been class for especially he was playing well. But I think under Barton, it was, I don't know, maybe he had a bit more pressure from Barton, or maybe some of the injuries or not. Because I was saying I didn't think he was at it. But since Taylor's come in, he's been unreal every week for 90 minutes.
I think if you look at Finley under Barton in League Two, when he had that combative midfield alongside, when he had Coots alongside, he could go out back and do his business. Just go out there and play the game that he's best at playing, being really tenacious, getting after people, second balls, and then that enthusiasm and adrenaline drives him on with the ball. The start of this campaign with Barton, and we'd switched to go in full possession. He doesn't really have the element in his game because there's no way of going and chasing about and getting that high energy in him, in that enthusiasm and drive in his game, because all he's doing is doing what sort of Woods was doing, with getting it, giving it, shifting it, retention of the ball. And you lose a little bit of Finley and what he's really good at when you're, trying to be 80-90% possession perfect. Because a lot of what is good about Finley is just his endless running and his tenacious attitude to go and get about the pitch and cover grass.
Yeah.
And now under Taylor, he's got a midfield alongside him, like in Ward, where he's developed his game. And even if Macca gets minutes and can get in there, Rossiter would have been the same if he'd have played. Someone who's got that about him alongside him, and he can feed off it.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, like I said, I thought he was class. Evans again, quality. Wardy, quality. Thomas again, he's been outstanding for a while now, even in a different position, and hopefully it'd be nice for him to grab a goal against obviously Barnsley. We'll get into that very, very shortly. But again, Tom, I think Tom said it and Ben said it. Josh Grant was very, apart from that one mistake where he sort of left it a bit too long. I thought he was really good. Martin, I didn't think Martin had a chance. I think if Martin had the chance that Giovanni had, we'd have scored. That, I think that should have been a goal. Personally, obviously Thomas was unlucky on the rebound, and then the pass right at the second half, that pass, Giovanni Brown. If it was on the money, that would have been a goal as well. Obviously, Norwich did have their chances second half, which they will be. They're bringing on, even better players than that they already had. And Republic of Ireland international Ida, he's quite raw, but he's done well for them this season. But overall, and then you had the handball at the end. I think it was a handball looking back at it, but obviously sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But overall really good. And we will be back on either Sunday or Monday for the Norwich preview. Hopefully we'll have, and obviously we'll be talking about the Barnsley game. Hopefully we'll have the lads from Talk Norwich City on as well. So keep an eye out on our socials and have your notifications on for that. Either Sunday or Monday, we'll be going over that game and obviously discussing the Barnsley game as well. But we are going to get into the Barnsley game now. We've got Josh, who's been patiently waiting from Red All Over. Like I said at the start, make sure you go and subscribe to their channel, a really quality channel. I've been on their channel the last few times we've done the Barnsley previews. But yeah, Josh, thanks for coming on. And yeah, how you doing?
No probs. Happy to be here. Doing well, thanks. How are you? How are yourselves?
Yeah, not bad. But yeah, I mean, first question is what's been your thoughts on this season? Because obviously there was quite a big change in the summer with Duff going to Swansea. Obviously, that didn't work out at all for him. He thought he could go in the Championship and do really well, but obviously it hasn't worked out at all. Neil Collins has come in, and to be fair, you've still done very well. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to hear your thoughts, and because obviously I do watch your Red All Over a lot as well. But it'd be interesting to know what Garceheads think of that as well, and you'll tell us your thoughts on what you've made of your season and the new manager that's come in this year.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a weird one, really, because obviously over the summer we lost Duff. Mads Anderson went to Luton as well, so we lost his captain. And then Liam Kitchen, who was sort of the only centre half left from the back three of last season, went to Coventry on the final day of transfer window. So we've lost that core stability which we had at the back. So it's always been difficult for Neil Collins. Since he's come in, he's had uphill battle after uphill battle, to be honest. He came in pre-season. I think he came in maybe a month after Duff went. I think Duff went middle of June as well. So he came in sort of early to mid-July. Didn't really get too much of a pre-season. We kept cancelling friendlies left, right, and centre. And I think we ended up playing Leeds at one point and lost to their second team 8-0. So it never looked good from the start, to be honest. And we sort of took the first few games this season more or less a little bit like pre-season. The Portville game aside, opening day when we beat them 7-0, it was just one of the games everything went in. And it was sort of nice to play yourselves second game in, knowing we're playing sort of one of them teams that's going to be solid in this league. And it brought us back down to earth, I think, quite quickly. So obviously in that first half, we were all right. And then second half, one-way traffic from yourselves. And we just eventually couldn't cope with it. And it's been really weird because the amount of change that we've gone through with that back three going, and Mads Anderson obviously gone to Luton, been replaced by Casper Lapata from Woking, from non-league, and Maël de Givenet as well, who's from French second league. So it's not like we've brought players in who were sort of ready to go straight away. For example, de Givenet's debut when he came on, it rooked after half hour or at half time, and give away a penalty that miles off the pace. But since then he's got better and better and stronger. But it's just defensively, we're playing a right wing back at centre half on the right hand side of like a three, and there seems to be a little bit stability now in terms of the plays in which we're playing, but the performances it's not what we're accustomed or expecting really, because the sort of mantra of the board is high press attacking football, which so far this season, because of the issues we've had sort of defensively, we've not been able to do that, because as soon as we push and get high at the pitch, it's just a case of turning the ball around corner, and as back three can't deal with it very well. So we've been very sort of easy to play against for a lot of sides in this league, especially if someone's got a big man up front, we'll struggle with that. If we've got any pace in the front two or front three, we'll struggle with that, which every team's going to have one or the other. So there's been a lot to work on, and we have got progressively better. I think we're starting to see signs of that now, especially since Luke O'Connell's come back sort of from mid-November. Since he's been back in the side, we haven't actually lost in the league, which it's been nice to see. And I think he's sort of the linchpin of how everything works, because he's the one that can pick the ball up off the back three and actually make something happen and be the catalyst for that. And since then, we've looked miles better. And it's just really weird though, because the times in which we have pressed sides and sort of stifled them and suffocated them ultimately to win the ball back up high, we've played really well. Like the first half against Peterborough, we're 2-0 up inside half hour. We looked really good value for that as well, but And then again, the sort of issue of the back three of playing a right wing back at centre half can't deal with Johnson Clark-Harris, who's just gone to find him because he's only 5'10", and Johnson Clark-Harris just bullied him twice for headers, and it was just frustrating because it was two preventable goals if it had been dealt with in the transfer window. So we're all right at the minute, but I'd say the points tally doesn't actually marry up with how well we've played with Roda's luck from time to time, and Liam Roberts in goal from Middlesbrough has been sensational. He's definitely earned us 9-12 points so far this season.
Yeah, because I remember he was quality in Northampton as well in League Two this season. You know, they were I think they just missed out the season when we went up, and then obviously went to Middlesbrough. And I've seen a lot of your highlights as well of he's, like you said, he's made some massive saves as well, and it's pretty interesting that, like you said, it sort of doesn't measure up to how you've, you know, what the league table says, because I think you're what is it, 9 points ahead of us currently, I think. So yeah, I mean it's 9 points ahead of us, played the same amount of games. Obviously, we're in 10th, played 24, won 9, drew 7, and lost 8. And then you're in 6th, as won 12, drew 7, lost 5. So for us, obviously, for me, I'm still hoping of playoffs. Obviously, probably it's pretty. I think it all depends on our window really, and what happens. But obviously, Neil's got different thoughts than me. He don't think. And to be fair, I think it's probably 70% of probably Rovers fans would say we're not going to finish in the playoffs. But I still believe, we just need to. I think it all depends. Like I said, it all depends in the January window. But Neil, what's your thoughts on Barnsley so far?
Yeah, the only thing he's touched on it there, Josh, really. The thing I was going to mention and talk about was the loss of Anderson and Kitchen, because it's huge, isn't it? Like you look at those two centre halves in sort of this division, they're like, when we talk about, getting Jono back and a certain centre forward of being A1 top notch, that's what those centre halves were in this league. So ripping that out of your side and trying to replace it to be continuous, it's going to be really difficult. So you've got to find another way. If they're not picking, the way I'd look at it, I think it's all positive really for Barnsley, because if you're not putting in performances, but you're still sat in around sort of 7th, 8th, and you're not playing great, and your points tally's there, you're onto a good thing really. Because if you can go into the second half of that season, find those performances, it's what we've said about Rovers is at the start of our season, the way our season's gone, we don't not lose games, that we should be drawing or winning. We're the other side of that. Barnsley don't do that. They can't win it, they won't lose it. I know they've lost 5, but over the course of halfway through a season, losing 2 centre halves and a captain ain't too bad. So I think if they can tweak that to go, do you know what, that we'll get on the grass in the week before games, start working at this, drilling this home and getting a pattern to suit what they've got and the personnel, start turning those performances round, the points will come along with it. They just got to find that system of when they do have the ball turned over and they are broke on, that they can find a way of shutting the door, because at the minute that seems to be their issue. And Saturday they're going to come up against a side that is prone to being okay at unlocking that door, with 2 players that can sit in a pocket and unlock doors for you, in sort of Evans and Collins if they play. We've got a real threat in transition, which seems to be Barnsley's downfall at the minute. So it's going to be a bit of a game of chess, I think. But I don't think Barnsley are in a bad spot considering where they were in the summer, where they sit in the league halfway through a season. They know what the issue they need to address. It's not like they're scratching their head wondering why it's happening. They know why it's happening. If you can turn performances, points will still come along. It's whether you can make that top 6 with form and be confident enough to say we're in this top 6 and we've got a real shot at it, because a lot of sides scrape into the top 6 knowing we ain't got open hell of winning this. So they're on a knife edge at the minute, Barnsley, of whether they're going to go one way or the other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it all depends on January again. I think if you can get the positions you need, and and you know where to improve as well. And that's the thing, like you said, Neil, it's and like you said, Josh, as well, that the fact that you've lost like your two, quality centre backs, even Norwood. I think Norwood's another one that goes under the radar. I think he
Definitely.
really helped Devante Cole. Of course, Norwood going to Oldham in the summer was crazy. I think no one really expected it, and I remember, seeing a tweet that he's left, and I was like, wow. And to be in the last playoff position and not to be playing that well, or not to be, having your best players from last season, and getting in, players from non-league or players from the second tier in France, young players to come in and try and do that. And like Neil said, with you can sort of draw games, even if you're not playing well. With Rovers, if we don't play, at least 80% of how we can play, we'll lose, because we're not really that good at doing that. If we look at results, you're actually 8 unbeaten in the league. Your last 5: drew 1-1 to Wigan at home, drew 2-2 to Peterborough away. Although, like you said, you were 2-0 up, and JCH hadn't scored in ages because obviously he hadn't been playing, and he come on and got 2 goals. And Port Vale away, you were another game where you were 3-0 up, and they nearly pulled it back to 3-3. So you win in 3-2, beat Stevenage 2-1 at home, and then drew 1-1 to Charlton. 9 points out of 15. Rovers have also got 9 points out of 15. Over Christmas it was really good, really. Beat Bolton away 2-1, but then we lost to Blackpool away 3-1. Beat Pompey and Charlton back-to-back 94th minute winners at home, and then lost 3-2 to Wickham. If this game was you mentioned the previous game, that game, I remember talking about it, doing the reaction on the episode, like the amount of chances we missed. Marquis missed 2 or 3 sitters. He hit the post. We literally done everything apart from, like you said, the first, 20 minutes where you went and got, Cadden scored. We absolutely battered you. I don't know how we didn't win, but again, like that, it's games like that where you look back on, you think, now going away to you, obviously our home form, although we might have not won, sort of say 8 out of 12, we've only lost 1 home game. We've got 5 wins, 5 draws, and 1 defeat. But obviously away from home, you've seen it with our results. We've conceded 3 goals the last two league games. So yeah, and like Neil said, I think it hoping that it sort of stays like that. You talked about, teams on transition, under Barton it was, keep the ball, possession and stuff. But under Taylor, although his teams at Exeter would have loads of possession, and sort of, dominate games in the midfield and attack a lot, at Rovers it's less possession, but once we go on the attack, everyone goes forward. So yeah, it's got the top to be a really good game. Question from Ben for you: what was your expectations? Because I remember watching your Red All Over predictions where all of you were doing it, and all of you had different ones. What's been your thoughts now, and what was it before the start of the season as well?
Yeah, so pre-season, obviously, with the amount of turmoil we've gone through, it was just sort of top half, maybe a late playoff push. But we're sort of, I think we're exactly where we wanted to be, or sort of expected to be, really, with a degree of realism and taking the context in the summer, just being in around that top 6. If we weren't in it or were a few points away, would have taken it, as long as the issues get addressed that we know we've got in January. We know we need 2 big 6'4" centre halves that can just head the ball away. That's all they need to be able to do, because they don't really need to play too much, because it'll just go straight to Luke O'Connor and they'll start dictating from there. So all we need is 2 sets and halves that can properly defend, and ideally defend the channels as well, in that back three. I think if we get that, then I think top 2 is still a bit too much of a stretch. I mean, we have got the game in hand, but I think that still leaves us 6 points. Although we have still got Bolton to play home and away, so we could take potentially 6 off them. But I think, at the same time, I don't think the side's ready for the Championship. It'd still be another massive rebuild next season to sort of sustain and go again, especially when you look at the sides in there now. Like, it's so hard for teams coming up from League One. When you look at Ipswich last season, they more or less had a solid Championship side and coasted through. Same with Plymouth. a decent side, and they're doing well. And Wednesday, sort of the team that had a mishmash of players, didn't really have too much structure, are the ones who are struggling at the minute. So I think realistically, I'd like top 6, and depending on what that side looks like come the end of this window, I don't know if going up would be detrimental to us realistically. If we're coming straight, if we can back down there to do it all over again, I'd rather us take another season and sort of add that depth to the point of where we've got a team, or at least a spine, that we can look at and go, yeah, that'll be able to handle championship, and then we can just bring a few players in over that summer and come up, rather than, because I think at the minute, if we did go up, we'd need minimum 7, 8 players, maybe 9 coming in to have that championship quality, and it's too much turnover to expect that side then to stay up.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, because like you said, it's crazy, isn't it? The championship, obviously,
Yeah,
you look at the amount of money Ipswich even spent last season in League One, it was like 5 mil, wasn't it? Or even more than that. And their squad, even if you took one player out, you could bring the same quality on from the bench, which is crazy. And then Plymouth, obviously, a lot of thing that's been massive for them is the loan market. Even this year, now they've lost a few now. So will they struggle and go down? Who knows? But yeah, it's so tough. You know, even if we were to go up, just for example, it'd be crazy, because again, for us, it would be, for loads of players out of contract again in the summer, and it's just a whole different level, isn't it? You've been used to it. For us, for a number of years, it's been obviously League One, League Two, but yeah, to go up, it would be mad, really, the quality that's there. Another question for you, with your club's experience, obviously we've just sort of talked about it, but you said with your club's experience, how would you describe the size of the gap between League One and like we just said, then it's even bigger, isn't it? Even bigger, pretty much.
Especially with them parachute payments now as well. Like you've got, Norwich, for example, who you drew with in the FA Cup. They're just sides that they're like run-of-the-mill teams now in that league. Like it's just so difficult, and you get the couple of breakout sides such as Ipswich which go up. It's just when we go up, it's a case of first things first, 50 points for survival. It's never let's try and build and make a mid-table side or have a push for top half. We had that one season during lockdown where we finished 5th, then lost to Swansea in place, and then we got relegated with, I think Derby finished above us, who got minus 21 points, and we went down the next season after. So it's so volatile in a way of how it fluctuates so much. You have one bad transfer window and your backs are against the wall. It's ridiculous competitive, this championship.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because I remember that season when your manager Valentin Ismail that season.
Yeah, it was the most mental football I've ever seen in my life. Any player's job was just to lump it as far forward as possible, and we'll just chase after it. And we'd just play the exact same game over and over again of knock it as far as you can into channels, and we'll try and win it as high up the pitch as possible. And then after 60 minutes, he'd swap all 3 strikers, so he could just do the same thing again. So defender's job was just edit, kick it, and then if we had to be creative, we'd push some wing backs up as well. So we'd have almost a front 5. Anyone tried to play out front back, it were impossible. It was a crazy season, but I always confused when I went to West Brom, because we had a really young side, so we could almost outrun any team in the league. When he went to West Brom, I thought that was so weird, because they got like Rob Snodgrass there. They got a really aging side, and it just didn't work for them at all.
Nah, that was pretty mad, to be honest. But I mean, you sort of talked about it. Obviously, when we played you last year, obviously away, it was a game to forget. I was there. Obviously rain coming down Tuesday night. I think we were 2-0 down in the first 7 or 8 minutes. Devante Cole, absolutely. I think that was the game Barton, because we had a few injuries and Barton was trying something new, and he put Luca Hall centre back, and players were in different positions. We got absolutely bad, and like you said, Luca Connell, and you said he'd been missing for you, but since he's come back, you ain't lost. And I think if we're going to take anything for the game, or, because to be fair, our midfield's been one of our main bits, especially since Taylor's come in, with Finley, Grant Ward and Evans, but Grant Ward's going to be missing. He come off injured against Norwich, so that's very frustrating. So whether he might change something, put Evans more deeper, or play Giovanni Brown, I'm not in the 10. I'm not sure. But Luca Conway, and even your midfield in general, I think, when you look at, you've got Herbie Kane, Phillips, and the wing backs. I think Cadden is probably the best wing back in the league. I really like Cadden. And then obviously you've got McAtee, who's been on fire for you. Obviously the ex Grimsby player on loan from Luton now. He's like, would you say he's been one of your best players in recent weeks and months, McAtee?
Yeah, it took him a little bit of time to find his form, and I think it were also like Neil Collins is probably still to a degree working out his best 11 to play. And since Connell's come into the side, and we've got last season's midfield three of Herbie Kane, Adam Phillips, who's Connell, just as at 3. Everyone else has just got better around him, and it's been really weird to see sort of just by one player coming back how much difference it's made. And since then, it's allowed McAtee to play a little bit more of a free role, sometimes just dropping off behind Devante and sort of linking everything together, and other times just deciding to have a dig from 25 yards and it's just flowing in. He's almost playing with like a different level of confidence. The thing that I like most about him, though, is when he closes down, he does it with purpose, because we've had fast-running strikers who'll close down but never have any intention to win the ball, whereas McAtee goes flying into tackles, wins the ball high. And it's nice to see. I think against Peterborough, that's what he did. His first goal came from that. They played it back to the keeper. He slid in, nicked it from him, and it fell to Hurricane, who just passed it into net then. So since sort of Connell's come to provide that like deep line build up and that deep line playmaker kind of role, it's allowed everyone else to just go back as much higher up the pitch as well, into sort of last season's formation in a way. And McAtee sort of within that he's found fantastic form recently. He's probably first name on team sheet at the minute. He's been fantastic, both defensively and also contributing with goals. Yeah,
he's definitely one to watch out for. Is that true? Gas Pipes, even into you as Gas Pipe, he's just said, have you seen that Matt Taylor's gone in, Mrs. has gone into labour? Oh, right, yeah, because he did say, so yeah, he might not be there, so it'll be, Byron Anthony what's the ex-Tottenham assistant we got, Neil?
Bondi.
I forgot his name. Yeah, Kevin Bond, so they'll probably be there, if his wife's gone into labour. So, yeah, hopefully we can win for Taylor. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, you've pretty much, gone into, obviously, how you play, your thoughts on the season. Just before we get into doing our lineups that we always do, what's your thoughts going into the game, Neil? I think it was Kieran that was saying, should we rest a few players for the Norwich game? Going into the game, against Barnsley, what's your thoughts?
I don't think we have a squad now with the injuries you've got, and the amount of the drop off of what is there, the kids that ran even kicked it. We ain't got the volume to really rest. I would have thought that Collins could probably pick our team for us, to be honest, with what is available to us now. Unless something comes in tomorrow, I don't think we've got the available. We can sort of rest and interchange maybe, I don't know, 2-3 max. I don't think we can do any more than that, to be honest, with the squad and the availability we've got, in certain positions. Unless you start pulling people out of holes and playing people in wildly different positions. I know Josh Grant is flexible when he can play multiple positions, but he's so delicate at the minute. Can't have him running around in the middle of midfield. He'd break down. So I think it's going to be a delicate one anyway. The way I can see it, you look at the sort of minutes and the volume that Evans has got through recently, Finley, Ward's broken down. Collins got rested Saturday, so he'd probably come back in. Maybe Evans goes out. And then you're looking at sort of like Macca might have to come in Saturday, and he's fresh off the treatment table. So it's going to be delicate. It's going to be. I don't think we've got the luxury to be resting players. I don't think we've got the squad to do it at the minute.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen that. I've seen a few people say that. Like, there is literally no one. Like, you look at our bench against Norwich, you had Luca Hall, you had Gibbons, Marquis, Maka, who's, like you said, Maka's only played, what, half an hour in the last 2.5 months? No, that
Did
was
well
his
at
first minutes
Norwich,
back.
mind.
Say that again?
He done well at Norwich, mind.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I know
know. Yeah.
he's never match
Yeah.
fit. He's never match fit.
No.
If you sort of put too much volume on him and too much load on him, he'll break down again. So you've got to be delicate with these lads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. But yeah, keep hitting the like button. Yeah, keep smashing the like button. Yeah, obviously Conley as well. Conley is should be available depending on, apparently his hamstring was tight. Obviously, just come back from loan at Morecambe. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Conley's there, but who knows? I don't have a clue. It's going to be interesting. We'll obviously find out. And Matt saying, will Ward be back for Norwich? I'm not sure. I haven't listened to, I don't know if Taylor spoke on the radio or if he's going to do it and say about Ward. I'm not sure how long it is. Hopefully he's back for Norwich, but I'm not sure. But yeah, keep hitting the like button. Do subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to get on to starting 11s now. So you leave your starting 11s in the comments. What would your starting 11 be, Neil? If Ward being out, what do you think will be there in the starting 11? Then we'll get your Barnsley 11 in a sec, Josh, as well.
Yeah, like I said, given the amount of minutes and work and volume that's gone into a lot of these lads, you're looking at sort of smart substitutions and lads, getting 20 minutes here and there, 30 minutes, but they're still gonna have to play minutes. Like you can't just take them out for a week because we haven't got the squad to do it at the minute. I'd go with Cox in goal and the same back three as what we had at Norwich. I'd play, although he's got through a load of work again. If Hunt's not fit, I'd still play Thomas out there if he can get through it and he's fit enough to play. I wouldn't mind seeing Scott Sinclair play the other side and give Harvey a rest because again he's got through loads of work recently. I can't see anything other than Finley and Maka playing in the middle from what we've got available to us. I'd let Evo have some time on the bench and not give him 90 minutes. Put Collins back in. Give Brown another week in the pocket behind John Marquis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Gaspap. I think Rossiter. I don't think we'll see Rossiter. I said it a few weeks ago. I don't think we'll ever see him in a Rovers shirt again. Unfortunately, his injury, he's been out for a year and 3 months. He was quality in the first half of last season where we got to 6th or 7th in the league, but then got injured. I don't think he's out of contract at the end of the season. I don't think we'll see him in a Rovers shirt again. I hope we do because he's quality, but yeah. And he's going to be out for a few weeks, Wardy, according to Bondi. That's not good. So yeah, that's why I said at the start of the video, I think first signing will be a centre midfielder then. But yeah, what's your starting 11 for Barnsley, Josh?
Liam Roberts in goal. Back three, Jordan Williams, Mel Givenet and Jamie McCart. Right wing back, probably Corey O'Keefe. That's probably the one position that might is sort of still up for grabs, to be honest. Left wing back, Cadden. Older midfielder, Connell with Irby Kane, Adam Phillips sort of in front of him, and then Devante and John McAtee up front. I think that's probably as settled on his best 11, to be honest. The only thing is right wing back, because we have a massive problem at right hand side at the minute. So any left wingers you've got will have an absolute field day, more than likely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we under Taylor we play the same sort of formation as you now with the three at the back, and it's actually been Harvey Vell who's a winger /10, at Chelsea, and he's come into Rovers. Barton didn't really play him loads when he come in, and when he did play him, he sort of brought him off the bench. But then he suddenly started playing him at left back, and now he's done really well, to be honest. 5 assists, 2 goals. Considering he's a winger, he's had a few dodgy games, but you can forgive it because he's an attacker playing at wing back. So, but yeah, that'd be interesting if he plays or whether it's someone else. Strong team. Strong team for Barnsley. People saying Ben Dowell, Cox, Grant, Taylor, Cramerville, Thomas, Finley, Evans, Giovanni, Sinclair, Martin. Yusuf saying Cox, Thomas, Grant, Taylor, Cramerville, Finley, Evans, Collins, Marcus, Martin. Matts, Cox, Grant, Taylor, Cramer, Thomas, McCormick, Finley, Vale, Evans, Marcus, Collins. And Tom Butler saying a good team for Mill. For me, yeah, I agree with Neil. Same keeper, Cox in goal. Same defense of Cramer, Grant, and Taylor. Midfield 2 of Finley, McCormick. Left Vale, because I don't think Sinclair are coming in start. So I'll go Vale again, even though he's pretty much played every 90 minutes for like the last 2 months, I swear. But that's the thing. We haven't got another left wing back. And Friend could play there, but injury prone. Gordon injured. So yeah, Vale there again. On the right, Thomas again, because again, Hunt, I wish he was fit, but again, of course, he comes to us, he was quality, been quality for us, but he's been out injured for 2 separate spells now, which is frustrating. So Thomas on the right, and then I would go with Giovanni in the 10 and Collins and Marquis up top. I'd rest Martin and rest. I agree with Neil. Rest Evans as well. So that's our starting 11. I'll leave also, if you're watching back on the replay, I'll leave timestamps as well. I'll put them in either later on or tomorrow morning. So if you want to see different parts that you've missed, I can put them in. But yeah, score predictions. Get your score predictions in the comments. We're nearly ending. Should be a next few minutes, so we'll just do our score predictions and then we'll finish and let everyone rest, recover for Saturday's game. But yeah, get your score predictions in the comments, and yeah, we'll start off with you, Neil. Score prediction and goal scorers.
Yeah, I think I'll say 2-2. I reckon 2-2. Going to go to Barnsley. They're going to be sound at Oakwell, aren't they? But again, they've got an issue with shutting the back door. We've got players that can hurt sides. As far as creating chances, it's what we do after that. To be honest, we can create hatfuls of chances, but we've been punished all season for creating chances and doing nothing with it at the end until we got Chris Martin in to being able to take those chances when we create them. But I think we will create chances. Barnsley sound like they allow you to create chances, but no mugs himself at the other end. So I think it allows itself to be something like 2-2. I'd say sort of Waters and maybe Benson. I know Benson don't score a load of goals, but I like him. I think he's a tidy little player, Benson, to be honest. And then Macca and Chris Martin.
Macca, Chris. Yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, Neil's gone 2-2. We'll get to everyone's in the comments in a minute. What's your prediction, Josh? Feeling confident that you can get a win, or are you wary of your defensive worries at the back?
No, I'm very, very, very aware of them defensive worries. I think, especially when you look back at the game, the reverse fixture earlier this season, we're all right for in bits and spells. We never really dominate a game for 90 minutes as well. So I'm going to somewhat join Neil. I'm going to go one apiece though instead. Chris Martin always scores against us. Always scored against us when he played for Derby. So that's chalk down for at least one for you this weekend. And I'll go Devante as well. Devante might pop up one for us as well.
Yeah. To me, it would be nice to see Martin get his 9th goal of the season. And it'd be his 9th in 17 games, and hopefully he signs a contract. But he does, like we said at the start, before you joined, he wants an 18-month deal, and I don't think we're going to offer it to him. So he might be a good sign for someone else on a free and after the Norwich game. But yeah, it's tough. I just hope. I'm sort of having flashbacks of last season when I went. I just hope we don't. I just hope we don't concede early, because I think if we concede early, you've seen our last 2 away games, we've conceded 6 goals, 3 apiece. I'm gonna. So tough. I'm gonna actually go with yours, Josh. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say 1-1. I think Martin will score again, whether he starts or comes off the bench, and I'll go with I'll go with McAtee to score as well. So yeah, I'll go 1-1. Yeah, Neil's gone with 2-2 and Josh has gone with 1-0 as well. So let's get into some in the comments. Yusuf's gone 2-1. Is that 2-1 Rovers or 2-1 Barnsley? I'm not sure. Gaspap's also gone 1-1. Matt's has gone 2-2. Ben Darrell's gone 1-0 as well. Cole and Marquis. 2-1 Rovers and no injuries, please. Yeah, hopefully no more injuries. Yusuf's gone 2-1 Barnsley. I think Reese is a Barnsley fan. He's gone 2-1 Barnsley. McAtee and Cole. Is there any more? Yeah, Charlie not going for a win. I mean, to be fair, come Saturday when I'm going up, I'll be like, yeah, come on, we're gonna win now. But yeah, I'll stick with 1-0. I think this, like, I'm going into this game. I know, Neil's already had his thoughts, and some people don't think, but I still think we've got a chance of getting playoffs, all depending on the window and injury wise. But I think if it's already a big ass, like 9 points off Barnsley, who are the last place, and if you beat us, that's 12. So I think if we can get a draw and then keep and then go on, hopefully get, we've got Blackpool at home, Oxford at home, so we've got some important games. So if we can not lose, then I'll be really happy with that. Finley and Martin goals up the UTG. RJ's gone 1-1. Kelly's gone 1-1, then Thrash Norwich, hopefully. I remember Devante Cole mostly being roasted by Ben Natman, as in Cod's Vlogs, Ben Natman. That's all our predictions. We're going to end it here. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in on the live, and obviously thanks to everyone who watches it back on the replay as well. Thanks to Neil, as always, for coming on. Thanks to everyone for all the interaction. As always, hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks to Josh. Like I said, go and subscribe to Red All Over quality channel. I'm going to watch your preview you did earlier on as well with you guys. So yeah, subscribe to Red All Over. I'll leave it in the description as well. Go and subscribe to them, quality channel. Hopefully we can win. Best of luck, of course, to Josh and Barnsley after Saturday. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, leave your thoughts if you're watching it back on the replay. Hit the like on your way out as well. And we'll see you for the match reaction on Saturday and another episode on either Sunday or Monday. Just keep notifications on. But yeah, up the gas.